You just have to have a cave full of already mined jade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't?
That's how.
Hashtag.
I don't. I didn't know I was missing out.
Colin, that's how we fund this podcast.
Hashtag Jade
All
trade.
of us have a Jade 401k. Colin is the only one that doesn't.
With every shirt Mike has produced for Rabbit Troop Sucks, Jade Trade is part of it.
Yeah. Threadless pays us in Jade for those t-shirts.
Are you all unaware of that?
I was until today.
Jade coin?
Colin.
Jade coin. I mean, I can't highlight enough how lucrative the business is, and that probably brings us right back to Rabbit Troop Sucks on the hashtag Jade Trade. Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at 1982 Raw Force. Mike gave me the nudge that we're just going to reference this as Raw Dog the entirety of this entire film.
Did I say that?
Mike said it in his mind.
Can you say that for the podcast real quick, Mike?
I'll sprinkle it in later.
Mike dangled some mind grapes, and the vibe was red.
We get the sweetest juice.
As always, we are Rabbit Troop Sucks. We are a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked films. And this raw dogging of a film is definitely going to be overlooked, forgotten about, and all the things you could check off about a film. As always, I am Paul. Next to me is Mike.
Oh, hey.
There is Lamar.
Hello.
And Jeremy.
Whee!
And Collin. Who will never be the same after seeing
Colin loved this movie.
Raw Dog Force,
Yeah.
1982.
This is officially Colin's favorite movie.
Yeah, we'll get to Jeremy requesting this in a second. So that's about the comments. So let me just
Hey guys, come on.
Let me just jump into martial arts students visit an island with ghosts of dishonored fighters. They encounter a Hitler lookalike running a female slavery operation, leading to encounters with cannibals, piranhas, zombies, and chaos. Raw
Where
Force,
else are you going to find
1982.
a fucking synopsis like that other than
This movie
Rabbit Troop
delivers
Sucks?
so many
Yeah,
things.
I'm giving Jeremy the underhand lobbed ball question here. Based on that is, you just heard the synopsis, and Jeremy just sent this to us as a group text like weeks ago. Like, hey, here's he didn't send us a link to the
synopsis of a movie.
Yeah, he didn't send us a link to the movie, just the synopsis. So I Google searched that
I think about
synopsis,
that.
saw Raw Force, and thought, what's going on here? And I think the synopsis alone is probably the answer. But often when someone brings up a movie, my question is, Jeremy, why Raw Force 1982?
Usually you say, in a non-accusatory way, tonight, in an accusatory way, why Raw Force?
Yeah, so Mike's flipping it on you. So why Raw Force? Why 1982?
I mean, you just read a description that fits this podcast so well that I was like, this description has got to be for a movie that we should watch and talk about. That's the only reason.
He's right, because in all fairness, maybe 10 years ago, you and I read the description and said, we got to watch this fucking movie.
Yeah,
right
so
and then I forgot about it until tonight.
Sometimes I just check out the movies ahead of time. Like we make a 4-week ahead schedule, and we kind of know the movies that we're gonna do, just so we don't have to worry last moment. We know where we're gonna stream them, or if we have to rent them, download them, buy them, etc. So I was going through and I was like, okay, this is playing on Tubi and various other places, and I just kind of skimmed through and I was like, oh my god. Mike and I have totally seen this film in the past, and Jeremy threw this out as, a whim. I also on the side. Jeremy weeks ago was like, man, I'm watching Raw Force. And I was like, oh my God, you're watching movies 3 weeks ahead before we're recording that.
Did you watch this with your wife and kids?
No, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, last week, Heavyweights. That's the one I was like, you should watch with your kids.
We did, we did watch that.
Yeah, again, I was stoked. I was so happy that your kids especially liked it. I really do like Heavyweights. Raw Force, definitely not the movie to watch with children, kids.
Anyone.
Disclaimer. Let's get the Rami disclaimer out there.
My favorite part about Raw Force is that the movie doesn't get in the way of the nudity. The nudity is hey, you know what? There's a movie going on, but we're still gonna flash it.
Jeremy,
out
the
here,
nudity is
all right,
not
we don't care what's
stop
going on
in this film. My Rami disclaimer is: should you watch this with friends? Absolutely, you should probably be in a room. I'm sure this would have enhanced Jeremy's viewing if you were.
If you have a bag, you can buy these bags of magic mushroom stuff now, these mushroom gummies, and they tell you hey, if you want to fucking trip your balls off, take all fucking 8 gummies in this bag. And if you took all 8 gummies in this bag and then watched this movie, your life would be fundamentally changed.
I just think you could go to any local dentist and you're like, listen, bro, I'm going to raw force it tonight. And I don't know what you could prescribe me, but let's prescribe that. And let's get in on that. And your dentist is like, giddy up.
Yeah.
The dentist is like, whatever fits in your fist.
Your dentist is Dr. Giggles.
I brought my own from home.
I have almost the loosest notes I've ever taken for this
100%.
movie. I want to give
have
I want to give a disclaimer in this movie. Everyone looks the same. There are 4 blonde women that look the same.
Yeah.
There are overly tanned early 80s dudes who all look the same.
There's
a captain.
One of the good guys and one of the sword bad guys, I was convinced was the same
The
actor.
white
Yeah.
tracksuit.
probably
I
were,
totally
man.
agree.
I don't think this movie is being made on
Mike,
extravagant.
that white tracksuit dude might have turned also into the zombie at the end.
Who
Like,
knows? Like,
there's
throwback
a lot
to
of mustaches.
throwback to Spookies. If you had told me that the cast was played by different actors in every scene, I would believe you. No one is distinguishable.
Mike is giving a throwback to epic movies,
Throwback.
Spookies. If you have not listened to some of our podcasts, we've talked about in the movie Spookies. A scene I think,
Spookies is a fucking classic episode.
a theme I think on honest to God, like a weekly basis is, and I think we mentioned this recently, is things go wrong in basically a haunted mansion, and one guy's move is he just jumps through a door.
This is one of the main characters of the movie. He jumps through a door and leaves.
A wooden door.
And never comes back.
Yeah.
He just got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, it's just one of the most epic things. It is, and I said on the episode, like, Mike's like, there was no way this had happened. It was like 4-inch like oak door, and I was like, but 1 in a billion chances, and it happened.
It was a Hail Mary.
And that guy called it. He's like, that's the only option I have, and he took it, and it paid off. And sometimes Rabbit Troop Sucks is about not just the themes of a film, but the themes of life. Like you've got to go for the gusto, friend. You got to grab the grapes. You gotta give them some wrath.
Grab the grapes.
Yeah.
If you're offered up a cruise to a haunted island, you fucking take it because
A haunted island who had
this.
like a really nice brochure
Yeah, who
printed
made
up
this
for
fucking
it.
brochure?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the backdrop of this movie is there's some karate experts maybe doing some karate stuff, but everyone's taking
the
a cruise.
Burbank karate,
Yeah.
the Burbank karate school.
I want to highlight the boat we're seeing from afar and the boat they're on are very different boats.
Yeah, that's true.
I do believe that in the attack on the boat at the end, that might be a bigger boat that they're on, and maybe it was like, because it's filmed at night and the captain's
Oh,
probably
God,
like,
yeah.
for a bottle of whatever, you could film on my boat. Like, that I believe. But on the day shots, I'm like, dude, you're on someone's like small yacht. Like you're not on some like 25-person vessel with like massive kitchen and stuff like this.
It wasn't a big boat.
No.
But it was, I mean,
It was a discount cruise.
where else are you going to get 6 weeks for $1,000?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
half these people.
6 weeks? That's what it was.
Isn't that what he said at the beginning?
my
Probably.
God.
Because when the one guy was
Hell of a
like,
cruise,
bro, this
dude.
boat
I could
fucking
be on
sucks.
boats. I could take a cruise
Yeah.
like that.
I would
Oh, I would
not.
t-
6 weeks.
That cruise fucks. There's like a booze room.
Yeah.
There's
No.
like banquet hall.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
that
dude.
other
It is a
wooden room
giant
where
orgy.
everyone fucks. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where
you-
he's sleeping, though. I never saw that part.
No, you don't have
Yeah,
to.
if that's the thing, you're on someone's yacht. That's why I was like, people aren't sleeping on this thing. But then you see the exterior, and I'm like, that's a total different boat. 6 weeks, dude. You guys would. How about this? You're on a 6-week cruise. There's a guaranteed murder happening. I'm taking bookies in Vegas on this.
Someone's got to be their Poirot. I mean, they're going to need you. And that
There's
could
gonna be
you.
a mass amount of murders. You're just be like, I can't. Like week 1, someone's gonna be like, I have 5 more weeks with this a-hole. Like no way. Like that's my cabin. Like neighbor.
It's fine. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to team up with like Gallagher,
Yeah.
Gimli, dwarf guy.
We'll talk about that
there
guy.
are
The Lord of the
so
Rings
many
crossover.
characters.
Part of the backdrop that's not in the IMDb description is some of these guys are like, we're going to Warrior Island. Okay. I want to kind of just give a serious approach to this, and then we could just dismantle
You
this whole
shouldn't.
film. Well, this is the only moment. That's what I'm saying. Then we could dismantle this movie in full. So the one thing to note is these karate experts are like, all right, I got this weird brochure, as Collin noted, like this weird laminated pamphlet or like this high gloss res, like $50 pamphlet. They're like, I'm just reading about Warriors Island. So apparently, like, disgraced martial arts experts. So disgraced martial arts experts are buried on this island. Already kind of like a weird thing that you want to see, but these karate experts are like Mike and John and, Lloyd, and we get some other people in the mix.
You don't want disgraced martial arts experts to be buried haphazardly.
So first of all, I'm like,
you want to put them. You want to isolate those guys on the island.
Yeah, I'm just like, why is this something that you want to see? But they're like, this is the origin of martial arts. This is where we want to see it. And right off the get-go, two of these guys, I believe it's Mike and John, they're like, like, that's going to be ridiculous. Like, we're going to see a bunch of jackasses and go to their island, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know what anyone's trip in their lives are, but like, one, if this was your like expertise, you probably wouldn't like mess around. And in any circumstance, I'm not even saying this like in a supernatural circumstance. Someone's like, let's go to a graveyard and like make fun of it and or desecrate it. I'm like, not my jam. Like what the hell is the back like drop of this? That's the only serious note I have. I'm like, these guys amongst this 6-week cruise want to go to a weird island for unknown purposes. I mean, this all clearly unravels and goes south in so many ways. But I'm like, I just don't even get that storyline. Like, we couldn't even get that.
Like,
straight.
have we started this review? Like, we're
yes, we're into the next film.
Like,
this is our Christmas movie.
Shortest episode of fucking Rabbit.
Guys, Home Alone 3. This is what we're talking about. So the neighbors are gone, and Kevin is back in his house.
Is that the one with French Stewart?
French Stewart is
good.
now a robber with his like Russian counterpart, Natasha, maybe.
Oh wow!
Yeah, are we going through this movie like in a timeline or?
Well, I just want to say there's a backdrop. I mean,
we can do whatever you want.
I mean, like that is the backdrop of this story. Like it is unfolding. True. Like the real opening is this: we're on Warriors Island, which I wanted to note ahead of time, and a bunch of monks are kidnapping women. I'm not going to say why yet. You think you would be like sex things? It is not. A bunch of monks are kidnapping women.
Why would you think it's a sex thing? They only take their shirt off within the first 15 seconds of the movie.
They're disrobing them. People are laughing maniacally. They're getting weird, like off-putting
What
grins.
about the little monk with his thumb?
Oh, yeah.
The Jawa monk.
The, like, I stole your thumb thing.
You know Jawa monk, Wu-Tee. And so in exchange, these monks are then providing hashtag Jade trade to a Hitler wannabe.
Yeah, he's got a weak eye.
Do you guys remember Hitler's name? I wrote
Tom?
Yeah, Thomas Speer. Yeah, I looked him up because I was like,
literally Hitler.
Yeah, I thought this guy would have a more menacing name like the Comrade or something, but I was like, Thomas Speer, are you serious? So there's this Hitler-looking guy in a white suit. There's his number one lackey.
I never figured out his name.
The bandana guy.
Bandana biker guy. And then a bunch of underlings. And they're getting paid off in Jade rocks. On a side note, as I said, the Jade rocks look very... It just looks like people are like, here's a bunch of dirt.
Here's some
granite.
Hey, man.
Here's some green chalk.
We took some light spray paint, put them on this styrofoam here, and you guys have this now.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
They have these girls in a cage, and then they were like weighing them against the jade.
Yeah.
And they had these
Weigh jade.
They had these huge baskets full of jade. Like so, like, either these girls were the densest women on the planet,
They
or
thick,
yeah,
bro.
or this jade is.
Is that how you trade like jade with just with women on scale?
That's how jade is valued.
Is that the value of jade?
I hope to God. I'm gonna write this down and never remember it, but I need Mike to
Weight of
also.
hookers.
I need Mike to also remember this for a T-shirt, and so he needs to write this down in some capacity now. Rabbit Troop sucks. It should be, how thick is your jade?
Okay.
There you. Oh, dude, I have some quotes from this movie that should go on a fucking shirt, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send them my way. I'll get it over to the forced volunteer graphic artist.
You could raw dog Mike any which way you need to.
All right.
Wait, is that what you want on the T-shirt?
How thick is your jade?
No. I don't even know. My notes on this are very.
That's what I was saying. So that's why I gave a backdrop, because
Yeah.
now we get all these guys. Some of them are martial artists, and they're like, we're going on a boat. They're like, hey. And it looks like it's a grandiose boat, and as I said, it's not. But a bunch of people are there. And they're getting on for various reasons. And so this is now the backdrop. Like, we're going to go to Warriors Island, and they kind of note this. And they're basically just on a booze cruise, like this sex orgy boat. Again,
how did the brochure come into existence?
That's what Collin was noting.
Yeah, the brochure for the island.
Yeah,
yeah. Who made it?
Because these monks, I'm assuming, do not want tourists.
No.
I also want bro, sure. Lots of shirts.
I mean, if we want to speculate a little bit on this brochure, maybe it was one of the monks. Maybe one of the monks is like, dude, we are supposed to be like guarding this.
I mean, the monks have a need for humans on their island, which we will reveal later. But maybe that is why they sent it out. They're like, hey, we'll get some of these dope chicks on our island, and nosh, nosh, nosh.
I feel like we're being really secretive about something that was explained in the synopsis of the movie.
Oh yeah, cannibal monks.
Yeah, right.
You know what? You read
We're
that.
being all fucking coy about it.
You read those.
Well, you don't want to give
synopsis,
away pertinent details.
and you watch the movie, and you kind of give it away. Yeah, you forget. I forgot. Like I know there was cannibals in this movie, but the monks, the way they're eyeing these women.
Yeah,
the little one, he's getting all.
Man.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's just getting in there.
What was that, Paul?
I hear whispers.
Is it a? Do we have the ghost of a disgraced martial artist in this room? Oh my God, he's here in the studio, guys.
You're reading their script. I see.
Oh.
Yeah. So one of the girls that they have traded for the Jade is too skinny.
Just want
they
to have
don't
fun.
want her. Mm-hmm. They take a basket away because they're like, listen, dude, we're not taking this skinny.
I love this woman's reaction. So yes, so these monks are like,
she's like, I want to get back on the plane, dude.
Yeah, the monks are like, listen, we don't need her. But you could have the Jade next time. The thickness of the Jade and the women need to be accurate. And they're like, oh, totally, bro, monks. And this woman's like, yo, I need to get on the plane. And they're like, not so fast.
There's no room on the plane.
And she's like, well, there's plenty of room. And they're like, well, now I assume because they have baskets of Jade is weighing them down.
Yeah.
And then,
it's not enough room.
Bam, lady. Zombie.
Yeah, zombie samurai. He just got fucking killed by it.
The zombie samurai, by the way, is a white guy with a mustache. It's worth noting.
That's true. Yeah, who looks like he's covered in volcanic ash.
I read on the trivia that's Conor McGregor's grandfather.
God damn it!
From Roadhouse too.
I almost believed that for a second.
It was Conor McGregor's beard. His beard's grandfather.
Oh God!
That you bury a lucky charm and out sprouts that man.
That man who looked like a zombie Frank Zappa.
Kind of, yeah.
Well,
oh God!
Can't all be
now we're in a
poop shoots
cab.
with this
yeah,
guy.
people are getting on a boat.
The cruise. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been Dweezil Zappa.
Gotta get ready for this cruise, dude.
Yeah, they're getting on the cruise.
Have you ever been on a booze cruise, Jeremy?
I hope I get on a booze cruise with Lloyd one day.
Lloyd.
Which one's Lloyd?
Lloyd is
Lloyd's a partier.
married. Oh, I assume is Anne.
Oh, Lloyd's the mustache guy.
Yeah, who
he's
is just
perv.
sleeping around and going to 1,001 pleasures.
Yeah, Lloyd likes to
as
party.
one does.
Which is pretty much the opening. They're like, hey, like a couple of these guys, Lloyd and Mike, they're like, we're gonna go to 1,001 pleasures, and Mike's like, I don't really want to do this. It's Mike, right?
We're not even close to there, Paul.
Really?
No.
At the very beginning.
So like they're in a cab, they get on the boat, the captain's
Well,
this fucking boat sucks. It's all broken down.
we're already on the boat in the story.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on the cruise.
Yeah, is it their first order of business?
They're trying to introduce characters, but it's kind of mismatched. It's really quickly.
They do like
how
a
they try to do
karate
that.
demonstration that pisses off everyone else.
I love when they break the captain's window and his like
that
in
guy's
his bridge, and he's just like, "Hey,
Lamar and
what are you doing?"
Lamar and I were very quick to notice that there's a lot of Captain Intercom announcements, and it's like these are the things you can do. Like one thing was like, please do not throw all of your change in the in the ocean. The divers out there say don't throw pennies, but make sure to throw quarters.
Large
and above.
denominations only.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny. But then later on, like he's saying things during a fire, and like he's also announcing like weird food. Like it's very, very bizarre.
He's also indirectly or directly responsible for the death of most of the passengers.
That's fine. That's how the captain rolls.
Yeah.
The captain goes up with the ship.
Yeah. This fucking his He's like a low rent Ernest Borgnine kind of.
Yeah, while they're doing the karate exhibition, though, we're introduced to my favorite character.
Ooh, who is it? Cookie.
Yeah,
Cookie is everyone's favorite.
LAPD SWAT team member.
Yeah.
So, some of my notes include, and I said this to these guys all throughout me watching this film, I was like, Cookie is my favorite character. By the end, I was like, Cookie is still establishing herself as my favorite character. But in my personal notes, much like Clue, I was like, Jeremy would have screwed us all over for a chance at Cookie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Cookie did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, sometimes we call that double dip with chips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to dunk it. Man. Now I think we're at the part that you were getting to.
The cat house.
Yeah. It's Lloyd. Lloyd, this first order of business is like, we're going to stop off at this island.
Yeah, they do like
not
Shirley
Warriors
somewhere.
Island. Yeah,
no,
surely.
they're in some like, I don't know, shitty place.
I think they're trying to.
This was all filmed in the Philippines.
I read that because I think they're trying to establish their first stop might be in Hong Kong. I think that was part of one of the announcements. I could be wrong with this.
They were there to buy booze, I think.
Yeah, but I think that's what they're trying to say to begin with. It's clearly not, right. And I did have to look this up. I was like, this is not Hong Kong. But yeah, Lloyd's first order of business is like, I've heard about this place called the Palace of 1,001 Pleasures.
A cat house.
Mm-hmm.
If our listeners don't know what a cat house is, we'll have Mike explain it.
I went to a bunny cafe in Japan. It is not that at all.
There was no bunnies there.
And the cafe I went to, the cat house, on the other hand, there might not be any cats. But you might get some fleas. Whoa!
It's crabs. Crabs.
Whoops.
All right.
See the captain about that.
And they're clearly illegal, as Mike explains to Lloyd. Are these
Mike in this room? Is that what
yeah, when they say Mike, they're talking about me. I went to the hooker place with Lloyd.
Okay, well, let me clarify. When Paladin Mike went to the cat house.
There you go. But Paladin Mike did something different.
Yeah. Well, Paladin Mike was just, drinking a beer with the
yeah, he's just hanging out at the bar out in front of the cat house.
I kind of liked Mike's attitude. He's talking to these women. He's like, I'm going to Warriors Island. Let me show you a brochure. And even they were like,
has the brochure with
even they're like, weird. That's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's weird. Like, why would you go there? He's like, I don't know.
But then like a Hitler guy shows up. He's like, all of a sudden he's there.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I wouldn't. He's like, honestly, dude, I wouldn't recommend going to Warriors Island.
Fucking
That's a bad
sucks,
idea.
bro.
It is I, Thomas Lee Hitler. Spear. Check out my white suits.
Your white suits will get dirty on Jade Island.
Yeah.
Warrior Island.
What does a basket of jade go for nowadays?
One skinny chick.
A basket?
Yeah.
That's what they had.
I think so,
Like
yeah.
baskets of jade.
Like 4 baskets of jade for like 6 skinny chicks on
I'm
the
pretty
scale.
sure Jade is. What is Jade?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like the whole time, I'm like,
No one knows.
I'm like,
Shiny green rocks.
you're literally conducting a murder trade for how much jade?
Yeah.
Right. That they're making into like shitty figurines and selling
Yeah,
for nothing
but,
at
like,
a gift shop.
But yeah.
So like before Lloyd and Mike go on their cat house romp, like the other 2 women are like, all right, we're gonna
Hazel?
go shop for other things, and they go to this Jade store, which is being run by the bad guys, and apparently I guess the bad guys are taking this Jade after trading in the prostitutes, and they're just turning it into like trinkets that people can buy on the street.
The
are cheaper than other Jade items.
The bartender Hazel, she's the older woman of the bunch. She is shopping, and she highlights like, oh, these little trinkets, they don't go for anything. So like, they have like 17 baskets of crap, jade. Like, cool. Like, how about this? Like, for realsies. So you're like, okay, I took all these baskets of jade. I'm gonna throw out like a realistic number here. $30,000. Like, that's what maybe you have
Per basket?
No, just all of it. Like per load. Per like each load might be like $30,000. I was like, you just kidnapped and killed 6 people for $30,000. And you have a crew. You have to like pay off. Like you're not, like because that one guy was like, I want more than 10%. And he's like, meh.
Well, I mean, the margins are low in the Jade.
I was just about to say the markup. You have to.
You know?
I don't know how you would mark it up to where you would cover your cost for the paying off all your thugs.
Are low in the Jade.
There's a large variance in Jade values apparently.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mike is looking this shit up. He's on the fucking Jade.
Yeah, well, this could be an investment opportunity for you guys,
right? You'd think like a huge major cost would be.
We just say need to
carving.
find some cannibal monks, man, to monopolize this opportunity.
Yeah, you don't even have to pay the cannibal monks. You just drop.
You just bring hookers
chicks
to
off.
them.
Yeah.
Collin, let me ask you this question: how thick is your Jade?
So thick.
Wow.
I mean,
I like that Collin is kind of taking over my throne as the Dropbox guy.
good. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
You know,
Mike, let me ask you this question: where do you put your Jade?
Stop recording on all that.
Mike showed me phallic things.
Oh my god!
I'm like Goldfinger, but with Jade.
Wow,
it's my penis.
Fingering that Jade.
Oh no.
Where are we?
We're in this film. We're at the house of a
Yeah,
thousand
so
pleasures.
the
We're at the cat
Mike
house.
and Lloyd are in the cat house. The Hitler guy comes in. He's like, "Don't go to the."
He's like,
island,"
read
and
Mein
then,
Kampf.
But then he kidnaps all the prostitutes from the cat house. A few of them escape out the window, including Mike and Lloyd.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they got a good steady supply of prostitutes from this particular cat house because they struck during the slow hour, according to Hitler guy.
Yeah.
It's not a busy time. Nobody's going to be there. We
It didn't
can
look
strike
busy.
now.
Yeah.
Schnell.
Take the prostitutes, and then the evening crowd will be pissed. But whatever.
It seemed right. Because
You want to beat the evening rush for sure.
Yeah.
I think Lloyd and Mike were the only ones in there. There's like 5 chicks
They were.
talking them up.
Yeah.
And
There's an old German.
Lloyd's participating in a double session.
yeah, what was Lloyd doing? I was totally.
And then
forgot
Mike
what
was
he was
just
doing.
hanging
Lloyd
out
does
like-
Dallas.
Well, the exchange rate's really favorable, so he could afford quite a bit.
There you go.
Jeremy,
2 for
there's an
1.
old German saying, Schnell today, pay away.
There you go.
Payway, like the restaurant?
That's exactly it.
Okay, I
It's a
knew it.
combination of cultures. It's like a
So
a fusion.
they've captured the prostitutes,
Mm-hmm.
and now Mike and Lloyd are at the bar. They've assembled with all the other male participants of this particular cruise
Mm-hmm.
at like some bar where a stripper is dancing on the bar.
So I mean,
and she must be blind and deaf
well,
because
well,
she never stops dancing.
I clearly was noting and commenting when we were watching this. Clearly, there is a stripper that was filmed in one sequence where they're like, "You need a strip dance," and she did, and they intersperse this with 0 reactions. Like, imagine a woman stripping at a strip club, and they intersperse this with a full-out ballroom blitz, where people are throwing chairs. We get to learn more about one of the passengers' chin. He's kung fu fighting every which way.
Everyone
He's
was
the
kung
cook
fu
of the
fighting.
ship.
Everyone,
of the
I'm going
cruise
to put in
ship.
quotes as kung fu fighting. Some of these guys are just like kicking. I don't know if that's just karate. Like one guy is just kicking everyone. Kick. It's my go-to move in Double Dragon or Street Fighter.
He's the Taekwondo expert.
Right. Like this guy's like, I have one move and I'm really good at it. But yeah, there's like a total fight. So imagine like this is happening, and then they keep panning back to the stripper that was clearly
and
filmed
she's
in one
having a good
sequence.
time, dude.
Yeah, and it's like she has no reaction to this. In reality, that woman would have been out of there probably first. There would have probably been bouncers. There would have been something, but they just keep going. Like I would assume this is in reality like a 5 to 10 minute fight scene. Still.
She sees nothing and hears nothing.
No, she doesn't care about these.
She is the Asian hella killer.
I don't know. There's the strippers
She
who are
is-
like, whatever, I got to earn this money.
guys,
Fuck it.
she's a professional.
What's going on in
She
the
is-
background? That's a pro.
I was gonna say she is programmed for love.
A professional, like she's got to earn that money. But yeah,
are you
she's
a-
programmed for it as
Are you a
well.
pleasure model?
Weak.
Oh yeah, buddy boy.
Yeah, ballroom blitz.
Now
Ballroom
she
blitz.
was just for looking.
Oh, the
This
sign.
movie,
sign.
it was missing Jack Palance.
The sign on
His
the outside of
voiceovers.
this bar says "Good booze, wild women,"
Yes, that's how you want to
and
advertise.
it was
that's
missing Jack.
That's a
Palance.
fair assessment.
Jack Palance should have been the captain.
Gotta go to the 1001 pleasures, fella.
Was it Mike that ran out of the bar and then dropped drop kicked a moving truck?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Mike, I think it was Mike.
It wasn't Mike. It was the other one.
It was John.
It was John.
Yeah,
Okay.
John's not having
Paul
it.
Jones.
No.
John Akira kicked, which is you
Yeah.
run up against a moving vehicle and just kick. Kick. You just go kick.
Jump
kick
up
a
in the
windshield.
air, kick the driver right in the face.
Yeah.
They're
But
trying
he was
to get
okay.
away, and he didn't want that.
No.
He was okay.
The
was-
bad
he was
guys
fine.
in this movie, did they ever win anything?
No.
No.
At the first
Yeah.
scene.
Well,
When
yeah,
they
I
were
guess that's
selling
true.
their-
They got the Jade.
When they had a career of selling girls for rocks, they were doing pretty well until
Yeah,
these,
I guess that
until
was
these
fun.
dickheads showed up.
Yeah. They had a good racket. These fucking Scooby-Doo
But other than
motherfuckers.
that, yeah, the bad guys in this movie get their asses handed to them every which way.
Yeah.
Every which way.
Well,
Now we just go back to a boat and party, right?
we go. Yeah, a little
This is
Hitler guy.
my favorite. My favorite thing of the entire movie is
Yes.
what's happening.
This is amazing.
This like
Me
whole
too.
party.
right
that's
here.
Party boat?
Yes.
Wait, what were you going to say
And
about Hitler guy?
Oh,
Steve is my favorite. Oh my God, Steve.
which one, Steve?
He's the
guy
the
with the
guy that
eyebrows?
was a third grade teacher.
Oh, Steve
yeah.
is the
Oh my
best
God!
one.
I
get
commented,
there.
Jeremy. I absolutely agree. Like, oh my! I may need to call the cops. This seems very disarming.
Holy smokes!
those
Who the
are
heck is he?
movies.
Kazangas! I need to get out of here. Maybe I need to see if my friend's gonna come. Your friend can join. Golly gee! That's a third grade ruler. Whoa!
It's called a fetish.
Oh yeah.
I'm disgusted by this.
What was Hitler guy doing at this point in time?
Oh, he was mad at the lackey for not killing these guys because now they have to go like sink their boat or whatever.
Oh yeah, he's like yeah. So he's like you and the fellas
You and the boys.
get together. You're gonna jump this boat. So yeah, the everyone just goes back to the boat. Like I've seen a bunch of weird shit today. Let's not talk about it. And, let's raw dog force our way through lives as one does. We can't afford therapy, but we could afford party cruise for 6 weeks. So
Steve's 30th birthday. That's what this whole party is for.
golly gee, thanks for everyone coming. I am programmed to enjoy your presence.
So they're all like
Yeah.
in this really small room with shitty like 70s wood paneling. I thought this was just because it was a small boat. This was like the lounge. They keep cutting back to like the banquet hall of the boat where people are eating spaghetti and shit. But it's just like the degenerates in the group are in this fucking party room.
This is the basement.
Yeah.
This is like
This is
that
the basement.
70s show
It's a
basement.
specific party
Yeah.
room just for that.
So we have a
And
new bartender.
The bartender of
Oh
this
my
movie-
God. This guy is amazing.
So normally it was Hazel. Hazel was the other bartender, the elderly woman. We'll get back to her. She's part of the plot throughout. But this bartender is an exported dwarf from Lord of the Rings. This haircut, we need a picture of this guy. This guy should be on a shirt.
Oh, there's
Okay.
so many pictures that I don't even know how you could choose what you're going to
But
use.
this guy, the orange-haired, mustachioed barbarian of a fella. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jerry?
Oh yeah, he makes your drinks with ice off the carpet.
Yeah, well, he breaks with his fucking forehead. You got to have carpet ice. It's really
Oh, no.
You've never had a drink till you had carpet ice.
it's one of the key ingredients.
Yeah.
You ever drink Bailey's out of a shoe?
Yeah.
You want to go to a club where people
Exactly.
pee on each other?
I like this little bar setup too. It's kind of like a barrel in front of them with just random assortment beers and a block of ice next to it. There's no official table, just random drinks strewn about.
I imagine a lot of,
A
what
lot of
can I
that.
pour ye?
A lot of that.
Also, there was a so this is one of the things that I say we should have like a t-shirt made out of. For some reason, there is a man that is talking to people, specifically a girl, and he is like, the devil is doing this.
yeah.
The
Devil.
handsome guy.
And then that is never brought to light ever again.
I forgot
Well,
about
ever
that.
again.
Wow.
He was right.
Yeah.
Later, when they roll up on the island, there was a side conversation that Lamar and I heard. That
This is the
someone's like-
devil's den.
Someone's like, when they're on the island, someone's like, if there was just a McDonald's, like even a Jack in the Box.
Even a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, it was like it's just like a weird off conversation. Yeah, so the first thing I want to make apparent on Booze Cruise is everyone is super drunk. There is a really shitty looking cake, and it is tits ahoy in this
Yeah,
place.
Tits
Like,
ahoy. yeah.
Titties ahoy.
There's a guy who was a male stripper who kept telling people about it.
Yeah.
Do any of you remember
I know
what the name of the club that he worked at was?
No.
Because I think this should go on a shirt. It was called the Stallion Galleon.
Oh,
That's
man.
Mike,
Why are you not writing things down?
Oh, I already wrote it down.
Wow.
Oh, the Stallion Galleon. I love it, man.
Jeremy, you're noting that your wife will probably tune in at some point in time. I hope this is one of the key episodes. Hi, Jeremy's wife.
For Clue.
Oh, she heard the one. She's like,
She heard Clue, and she wants to go.
I'm good now.
She wants to go.
Yeah, this should be
raw
our
dog force into
penultimate
all of them.
episode right here.
Yeah, no one listens to this shit. No one that we know.
Well, that could be
But-
true.
No, that's
All right,
not
so
true.
So all the titty and all the fucking
And all the city.
I wish. Listen, if there is
Hot
anything that you
times,
should
summer
watch
in the
this movie
city.
for, it is the conversation between Steve and the mob lady.
Eileen.
It is amazing.
No.
It is
No,
the
no,
best
no,
30
sorry.
seconds.
Sorry, it's not Eileen.
It's not Eileen.
Yes, it is unknown, weird. A woman who's saying, I am now divorced. So Steve, it's his birthday. He's alone with this woman who, as I noted before, a lot of these women look the same.
And Steve's a third grade teacher.
Yeah, I'm a third grade teacher. What do you do?
Steve talks like this. Holy jeez. Holy
I am a third grade.
golly gib. That's exciting. Right in the gazongas. But this woman's like, I'm taking off all my clothes. And he's like, golly gee, miss. And she highlights that she's divorced, but is also wanted for murder. And don't worry about it, but there might be some problems when they get to various islands. And Steve is all like, maybe I should see if my friend could come. I don't know what's going to... The more the merrier, she says. Yeah, a wild romp between Steve and unnamed lady.
Yeah,
They gave her such a
But
cool
now
backstory. She
fucking
goes
bad
back-
guys have entered the scene. Yeah.
She had a murder warrant
yeah.
on 7 different solar systems.
Oh, geez, lady.
My friend doesn't like you.
Jeez.
Golly, I sure hope my roommate comes back from the gym.
When
My crotch tingles.
all of their crotches tingled. There was something on that boat.
There was-
Mike. There's tits.
When you feel
Yeah.
the tingles, it's not what you think. Crotch tingles.
Crotch tingles.
Coming this summer
No, it's coming.
after the Olympics.
On NBC. Yeah, so the thugs are on the boat now.
Thugs Bone and Harmony.
Thugs, Bone, and Harmony.
And this
That's
is
correct, yeah.
fantastic martial arts. That
Oh
we're
my god,
witnessing.
a burly, bulging man in a
Blue leisure suit.
in a swastika helmet bursts in on these two
Yeah, that was a bold move.
having sex, and what does he say? Holy smokes! Who the heck is he? While he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, he's beating his ass with his helmet.
He does. To his defense, though, he does pop up immediately and try to fight this guy.
He does.
That's
yeah.
true.
That was pretty badass. It was unexpectedly.
Yeah, it was his birthday. What a shame, Steve.
Yeah.
Talk about the outfits that these thugs are wearing.
Oh,
They're all over the place.
They're all dressed like some kind of combination of village people.
Well, unfortunately, one of the people we think is a good guy. I totally agree with what Mike was saying.
mustache sword guy.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, he's one of the good guys. He's fighting people. I was like, wait, isn't he fighting one of the good guys? I was like,
Right,
is he
yeah.
a bad guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like he's wearing like an Aladdin vest, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aladdin Samurai.
I couldn't figure
It's-
that guy out.
No one could.
It's my Project Runway that
He
you
was
guys
playing
haven't
both
seen.
sides.
My Aladdin Samurai Runway series.
He's like,
bit.
the director was like, in order to save money, you're playing the same guy in
Yeah.
both scenes.
Are
right
you
here.
a man leisurely walking through a desert or Cherry Creek Mall? Do you need to fight a samurai or a series of goons? Do you need to conceal a blade like a Highlander? Aladdin Samurai.
Yes.
Damn.
See me on Etsy.
The captain makes one of his famous announcements. I don't remember what he said. He's like, "Oh shit! Get everyone, stay in your room until we give the all clear.
Shittles,
Lock
my
yourselves
biddles."
in the room." Yes, shittles.
My biddles.
This was the
shittles,
this was the
guys.
announcement that doomed the boat.
Doom like The Rock.
Yeah.
The ID game. Oh no.
Because the only people who weren't locked in their rooms were the competent fighters.
Right,
Who,
yeah.
who immediately beat the shit out of everyone who was evil.
We can assume
Well,
that
one
everyone.
point in time, there's a guy fighting people with a fucking crutch.
Well,
He's got his leg all
so
ham boned.
Steve and unnamed blonde woman. The blonde woman gets tied up by that thug while
Yeah,
this also-
Eileen.
Yeah.
No,
that's other girl.
That's what
She's
I
about
thought too.
to get
Yeah,
the
that's what
R
I
word
thought
happened to her.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought, Jeremy. I kept confusing her with Eileen because they didn't really introduce her, but they introduced, as Collin noted, this super badass backstory. I kind of feel bad for the actress because she is bound and like she is super nude in this movie. Like I'm pretty sure what was said was like, you might take your top off. We're going to film this. Like that woman is abundantly just straight up bound nude.
Yeah, she's struggling. Her buns are being shown multiple times. With her struggling, and there's a fight scene happening.
I can tell she was working out at
The fight scene
Warriors
spills
Island.
over onto her bare ass. Like they are now fighting on her bare ass. Like fighting and punching.
That's
like while they're on her bare
the final
ass.
stage of Warriors.
Right. Final form, bare ass.
Well, you have to dominate.
Paul wants to
Bare
dominate
ass
that bare
finality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finish him.
So, but anyway, Eileen, who's Cookie's niece, cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
she gets nabbed by the guy from the beginning who's got Band-Aids all over his face since he got punched in the head.
Yeah, so that is
earlier in the
Eileen.
film.
That's true. And then a bunch of people are just gassing gassing the boat. And by that I mean they have gas tanks and they're just like jugs.
They
and
set fire to the boat.
Yeah, every which way, and they set fire, and the boat's done. The captain tries to put it out, and every which way fails. He's like, everything's broken on this
The
boat.
fire
shot at the fire
suppression system is no longer working.
He's freaking
because
out.
the old lady has not spent enough money to upkeep this boat.
He hates that old lady.
He does.
Yeah, he does. But then they befriend each other later on.
It's sexual tension.
They'll jump on a raft. The survivors that we see.
Everyone else is still locked in their fucking room.
Right, I assume 50 people died.
They're going down with the boat, man.
Yeah, like a lot of people locked in their rooms or just slain by bad people. There's basically.
I mean,
seven
in
or
all
eight-
honesty, though, Paul, how many people died on this boat? Because it's sunk, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Because there's only 7 people.
I was gonna
on
say
this
that
raft.
seven or eight. Like I think are left.
I counted
And that's
9
it.
people on the island from the raft, and
At
and
least
a lot of
30
people
if you
died.
think about that party, I'm
was
thinking
that?
30
Thanks
people
to
there.
Captain
Well,
fucking Phil or whatever his
Well,
name is.
as Lamar was saying, I think there's 2 groups. So there's the kidnap group, which includes Eileen, but like on the raft
yeah, I
itself,
forgot about
I'm
them.
assuming 7 or 8 people. So
Yeah.
7 or 8 plus kidnapped group. And then there's on a raft. I love one of the captain's notes. Like I can't remember if it's Mike or John. They're like, "Oh man, it's just awful out there." And the captain's like, "Known for sharks. Like we're in the sea."
There were
now."
sharks.
I'm like, thanks, Dick.
Saw on Shark Week.
Well, I don't think he knows what a shark is. I think
He's thinking of piranhas.
he's thinking of piranhas.
Little sharks, Colin. Have you ever seen
Little
sharks?
fish.
The mini song.
Chew you up in a
Tiny
second.
sharks.
I was like,
Swarm ya.
Also,
I was like, get off me,
not,
Shocky.
piranhas are not saltwater animals. They're not saltwater fish. So the thing that happens at the very end of this movie is completely implausible.
Yeah.
Are there no saltwater? I don't. I mean, I knew they were like a river fish, but
They're only freshwater
Only
fish.
freshwater.
Yeah.
You can't suspend disbelief for the
dare
piranhas.
Not for
I mean, it
long.
was a
Goddamn
zombie
right on,
island.
Alan. This is a fucking
These
pure
are-
National
these are-
Geographic documentary.
These are zombie
on Warrior
piranhas.
Island.
There's actually a note about it in the brochure.
Zombie piranhas with a mission, and they're very angry.
These zombie piranhas can go into salt water.
Yeah, so you get something simultaneously happening. Like the monks are given these women, which includes Eileen and some like other passengers, while eventually the group does see land and they do get to Warriors Island. Immediately they're like, "Where do you think we are?" And the captain's like,
Oh,
"It's Warriors
Yeah,
Island."
this must be Warriors Island.
Sure,
Must be here.
sure. And a lot of people were complaining. I like one guy was like, "I wish I wasn't here." He's like, "Me too." Like, what the hell?
Well, somehow
all do.
fucking Lloyd has smuggled booze off this fucking burning
Yeah.
boat.
knows?
He has a full bottle of like fucking vodka.
Lloyd knows what's up.
It was gin,
Yeah.
and he drank all of that, and pretty much the whole trip. As
mean-
they pulled up on the island, it was maybe 1/3 full.
I mean, you're gonna drink your STD medication with something. And it's gonna be that, not the salt water.
Yeah, you can't drink the ocean water. So
That's true.
drink
See,
something.
Lloyd is smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
see?
There you go.
Lloyd came to party.
Yeah.
Full
Yeah,
stop.
he did.
Lloyd wants to party all the time, just not with his wife, who he hates.
Oh yeah, as
Yeah.
they come upon the
This is-
Warriors Island, they see a dead body floating in the water.
Oh,
which
yeah.
This is
freaks them out a
also
little.
we also learned that like the monks are now they eat these
They
girls.
eat the
This
women.
is the point where we
And that's
find
Well,
out. Yeah,
reason
we
why
are
he's
eating
eating
that
these
body.
girls to live a long life.
We learned,
No.
we learned a lot of things. They're basting and cooking women to eat them to appease some kind of demons to obtain some kind of like immortality or longevity in their lives.
No, it gives them the power to resurrect the dead spirits.
Aren't they living a long time too? I thought that was
the point of eating the women was to give them the power to resurrect the spirits. To resurrect the dead.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
It was the basting that threw me.
Everyone knows you're supposed to braise prostitutes.
Yeah.
Collin made a comment about when they spotted the body floating in the water. It was barely eaten.
Yeah,
these cannibals just barely have to pick at it for their power. So
what do you do with the can?
Just lick the ankles a little, and you'll get enough power to resurrect 100 samurai
Spatchcock is when you
ghosts.
just cut it in half.
Just eat the little piggies.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I don't know.
It's a great island.
No,
Come for the
Warriors
mystery.
Island.
Stay for the violence.
And the braised hooker.
See the meats of the people and meet a zombie.
See the meats of the people.
Yeah.
That's my motto.
That was in the brochure.
It was in the
You didn't
brochure.
see that?
That's why the karate guys wanted to go. They're like, yeah, meats and people.
That brochure was like 50 pages. Like
It covered the whole thing.
It rolled out like a map to
Yeah.
Indiana. Like what the hell was that?
Yeah. It was like a Bill Bryson guide for Warriors Island.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with half this island. We meet the monks. The monks show up.
Well, before that, they stumble upon the bad guys again. So,
that's
it's
right.
the good guys. We have 7 good guys
Yeah.
with 1 6-shot revolver.
Yeah.
And then you have the bad guys, maybe 7 or 8 people who have every single one of them have automatic weapons.
Right. My favorite part of this movie, they wander into a cemetery and they're like, this is the cemetery from the
Warriors
brochure.
Cemetery.
And fucking Hitler guy pops up from behind a gravestone with a rocket launcher, like, gotcha, bitch, and misses everybody.
Right. So
He
that's what I was
blows up
talking
a
to
palm tree.
Yeah, Collin's like, oh my God, like that guy just did that. And I was like, this is a gamble. And I said, that should have paid off.
Yeah.
Like, you are 20 feet from a group of people and you have a rocket launcher. They have nothing. You have the surprise jump on them. You have 20 seconds to pull this off. He's like, ha. And yeah, she's like a palm tree. Like, what's going on?
But within the 20 seconds, everything changes, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of the good guys have the automatic weapons
Sure.
and the rocket launcher,
Yeah.
and the bad guys
Are dead.
nothing. They're
There's-
dead.
there's
They're
two
all
left.
dead.
If I
Yeah.
learned anything from this movie, if you're in a graveyard, sometimes you could have it all.
My favorite one-on-one fight was, I can't remember who it was. A guy was fighting another dude, and he saw his own blood. He just picked up a flagpole and just stuck it right through him.
Yeah, I think
He
that was
so
John.
angry with it. It was John.
John was done with it.
Yeah, John was sick of that guy's bullshit.
Made him
that-
so mad.
That was he was fighting against the samurai guy, the ninja sword
Yes.
guy from earlier.
Sometimes you get so pissed off, you just want to kill a samurai with a flagpole.
Yeah, you got to. That's how you do it.
Now, this is where I get a little foggy because
Were
do
you
the
confused
monks
by
show
this?
up? And are the monks, are they like, hey, welcome to our island. Here's some food, some drink.
Not at all. The monks are like, hey.
What are you guys doing here?
So I saw that you're on our island and you're not invited. And John is ultra pissed. John's like, these guys are full of shit. Like, I don't trust any of them. The monks are like, yes.
Good.
My thumb is twiddling.
And they're like, well, that's like tough shit. And the guys are like, or Mike's like, listen, this was not our fault. We were like abandoned on this island. And the guy's like, I don't really care. The monk is, that is. And he's like, but I'm going to give you an opportunity. And he's like, you said you don't have a radio. Do you have a boat to get off the island? He's like, that could probably be arranged, but you're going to have to work for this. He's like, okay, what do we need to do? And again, John is like, this bullshit. Like, And the monk's like, you're going to have to prove yourselves. I just saw you fight. You kind of sucked and you got lucky. So you're going to have to prove yourselves. The real underlining secret is you're going to have to fight zombies of the disgraced, samurai experts.
Yeah.
But the other people don't know this. He's like, you're just going to have to show yourself in combat. And if you could prove yourself that you are actually good, then yeah, we could probably talk about some things. Yeah, good luck, twiddle fingers.
I think he
don't
said
think
he
they
had
had a
to
boat.
fight our
And then they
champions, is
disappear
what he
through
said.
like a little tiny wooden door.
Oh, yeah.
The sneaky zombie peeks his head out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to get you.
He's always
motherfuckers."
creeping around somewhere. Every time he peeks through a door, it broke to commercial. Did you notice that?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking tough.
Well,
Buy a Dodge Ram.
it was an ED commercial.
go to
so.
Applebee's.
Oh, I don't think we got ED commercials.
No, I did. Okay. I don't know why. Maybe I have a problem.
Yeah. Targeted advertising.
It's because of your Google searches.
But Tubi was like, "Hey, limp dick."
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting any cookie tonight.
Yeah.
So immediately this basically just happens, right? Like they walk down the island and all of like the ghost samurais and ninjas and the white dude in a mustache who's now a samurai ninja, they all just pop up.
And all of these zombie martial artists are fucking terrible. They get their asses beat.
Well, that's why they're disgraced. Probably because they tried to cheat. Oh, they also rescued what's her fuck's her name?
Rangers.
Eileen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mei Lu.
Come on, Eileen.
And Mei Lu, the mama-san from the whorehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
That way they could pair up evenly at the end.
Yeah, they needed like a racially pure pairing up, so they had to find an Asian lady for Ping or whatever.
Chin.
Yeah. Chin, yeah.
They saved her.
I don't remember what his name was.
They saved her from that 5-minute basting scene.
Oh, yeah, she was getting basted real good.
Jeremy, if you were basted in a sauce, what kind of sauce would you be basted in? I highlighted that there it is getting basted in the face with wasabi. So that probably not a good time.
Yeah. Just sprayed with wasabi.
You're like a barbecue man. You're like, I want some like Kansas City barbecue.
I like a beef broth. Just sprayed right into my face.
Spray Jeremy with Pam and toss him on a griddle like a pancake.
Like inject him with some like chicken bone marrow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Beef bone marrow.
Jeremy wants the big beef bone injection.
Yeah. That could be our shirt.
There you go.
Yeah.
The beef bone injection.
Have 100 shirts by the end of the year.
Happy 4th of July.
How thick is your Jade?
Yeah. Answer it in bones.
Paul's writing this shit down.
Yeah.
Always.
Hashtag how thick is your Jade?
Mm-hmm. How thick? Show us.
How thick is your Jade?
I'm going to send you all Jade pics later tonight when I get home.
Speaking of Jade, they stumble across a mine of Jade now.
Well, I think that the Hitler guy is always known. So the Hitler guy and his lackey are just like getting the rest of the Jade.
Like load up this fucking Jade, bro.
Yeah, so there's like a seaplane and he's just loading it up with his lackey. Yeah. But now they're all in the mix because that guy comes out, he's like, what the hell? Because the other guys, the good guys, I guess, they're like, I checked out the plane and we need keys and there's no keys in the ignition.
He didn't look under the visor.
And the Hitler guy's like, oh my God, like our plane full of Jade, we got to get in there. But now there's all these zombies fighting. Whoops. And somehow it's established, as we've talked about, everything in the water is filled with piranhas.
Mm-hmm.
Remember
they be in that water.
They were in a raft and I assume they got out, 20, 30, 50 feet left.
The piranhas don't like rafts.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
They like that sweet, sweet fucking meat.
Yeah.
You know?
Beach meat.
Beach meat.
Zombie beach meat.
The way these scenes are shot makes it look like the piranhas are like 90% of the water. Like
it's more piranha.
You're gonna just immediately be just.
Yeah, it's just like there's piranhas here. Like it's all piranhas. Like
That's because the fucking piranhas haven't eaten anything in a while because the monks keep eating all the fucking prostitutes, man.
Well,
I was
through the bones and stuff.
Yeah, there's so many piranhas because the monks keep fucking feeding the piranhas.
If you feed them once, they'll keep coming back.
Yeah, you can't feed the goddamn piranhas.
This is just like a cat. Like
Don't feed the
it keeps
piranhas
coming back.
hookers. I think that's what we're trying to get at.
Yeah.
So you're telling me piranhas are cats of the sea?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if there's one thing that you want to walk away from this episode with, it's don't feed hookers to piranhas.
What, do piranhas eat anything else?
That's fair.
Like at the aquarium, do they have to bring in hookers to feed the piranhas?
I think there's German folk tales about this. I think this is like half of Hans Christian Andersen. This is the underlying thing.
The saltwater piranhas have to eat hookers.
Yeah.
You just have to read between the lines. He warned you the whole time.
Yeah. That's why you never see any more hookers around the Denver Aquarium.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Oh, there you go.
See?
Yeah.
Are we gonna review Piranha 3D one day?
I honestly would. That movie's kind of a blast.
Yeah. Boom. This movie led the way. We raw dogged our way to Piranha 3D.
Yeah.
Kill Jeremy. Kill Jeremy. He's choking to death on a piranha.
Oh, God. God. God help us all.
Yeah, so I mean, this movie is really kind of wrapping up. So basically what happens is...
it's essentially over.
Like, everyone's just fighting. How does number one thug die?
So when they go to the plane, see that there's no keys, and they come out, they're coming out of the cave, and they see that they're on the plane, and then he just gets beat up by a zombie.
And that's just it?
Yep, that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Hitler guy goes onto the plane, turns it on, leaves the plane for reasons that I didn't understand.
Yeah, he's
Doesn't matter, Mike.
And then gets eaten by piranhas.
who's he fight? He's fighting Mike at the end.
Yeah, he's fighting.
He's fighting Mike.
We had to
and-
wrap this up pretty quick.
Yeah, and it's not like Mike has the upper hand. The guy's like, "Get out of here!" Like all of my Jade's here, and
Mike's like, no.
yeah, and Mike and
you're
him
a
fighting,
fucking
and
dick.
yeah, and Mike's like, "No," and the first go-to move of Thomas Spear, the Hitler guy, is he just jumps out the side door into the water,
Into the water, and
with
gets
all the
eaten by
rocks.
piranhas.
Yeah.
He does.
Well,
brick him
in
with
all
some Jade
honesty,
real
he
quick.
was like, I'm jumping into the ocean where there are no piranha, but this island, you're fucked.
I get the sense that
the
you're really
piranha
hung
in
up
the-
on this saltwater piranha indiscrepancy.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
am fucking hung up.
This is the what you take issue with this movie.
Yeah, this is the hill I die on.
This is how Jeremy got raw dogs by this.
Raw Force isn't for that.
Here's-
Come on.
Listen,
here's why
man.
he jumped. I know why he jumped.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
because
Listen,
because
I don't mind ash-covered zombies, but fucking if you're gonna,
because like the captain
Yeah.
of the boat, he thought this water was infested with sharks.
I
He
see.
was fine with jumping into
Yeah.
an ocean full of
Sharks, he was cool
You know?
with. He
Yep.
thought he could take them.
It was a miscalculation.
Oh, damn.
exactly. Yeah, you can fight off a shark, but you can't fight off all those piranha.
How did the ancient people bring these bodies here in these piranha infested waters and then shark infested waters? Like, it seems like this island is like very much in the middle of nowhere, and it seems like it's like 1,000 years old plus of like people using it. Loophole. Come on, raw dog.
Yeah, that's
1982. Get it together.
That's actually the trick. The island's actually only 20 years old.
That's why that white dude in a mustache is there.
Yes.
He's like, I just brought my wife here to take photos of a rare bird. What the hell? And some ninja zombie jumped me, and my wife was eaten by piranhas and turned into Jade.
That's how it started.
Is that where Jade
Stories.
comes from?
She became the mine, Mike.
Yeah, dead tourists. That's where Jade comes from.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of fighting. Chen basically kicks the shit out of people. Chen kicks the shit out of people. He makes his way into the boat. He falls in the water at some point in time. They pull him back in. They're like, you're good, buddy. And basically the whole crew is in the plane. And I like that Hazel's like, oh my God, we're rich. Is this a basket of jade? The captain's like, sure is, Hazel. We are rich.
We're gonna be partners from here on out, you stupid bitch. Come on. And they hold hands.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is. It's really sweet.
Money
Yeah.
brought them together.
Yeah, they fly off. They're in the sky. And check this shit out, listeners. It's not just a freeze frame and like, hey, the plane's gone off and everyone's together. They do pair off. No, let's go through the pairs first.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have Mike and we have Cookie.
Cookie.
Sorry. Mike and we think it's Anne. John and Cookie. And now who do we have?
Captain
The
and
captain.
Hazel.
Eileen
and Hazel.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
She's got to get paired off with somebody.
There was
Oh.
there's three.
Eileen's with John.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's three white guys
Yeah.
that came on the boat.
John's the mustache one that I keep thinking is a bad guy.
Yeah, Lloyd's dead.
Lloyd's
We
dead.
forgot
We
to say
missed that.
Lloyd
He
died.
was chopped in the back. I was going to mention that.
So now Mike is hooking up with his.
What's
ex-wife.
sad is that the fucking one guy who saved everybody, literally the fucking Asian cook, he gets nothing. He's not even like a fucking half-eaten.
No,
hooker.
He got Mei Lu.
He got me a Lou, yeah.
That
Oh,
chin?
did he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were hugging it in. So that's the other pair.
So the reason they saved the hooker queen to go with Chin at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
The hooker queen and
Yeah.
the
They look
fucking
happy
martial artist
together.
Yeah.
Cook.
It's a
They get
perfect
together
pair.
at the
Yeah,
end.
it's
All
Chin.
right.
Chin. Yeah. He
Good for
hooks
us.
up with her at the end. So
Good
they're
for the
all
viewers.
they're all paired off. Now everyone has baskets of jade. Not only does it say freeze frame, but holy shit, audience, it says to be continued.
Yeah.
And spoiler, you're never gonna see part 2.
I would love to see like a follow-up short film about like how these fucking idiots have to understand the jade market to like
So I wanna
sell
explain
and
some-
push jade.
Yeah.
There is an IMDb trivia that says that there was a planned sequel to this movie that was never made for quote unquote Reasons unexplained. That's what it says in the IMDb trivia.
Lamar, I'm going to phrase it like this for IMDb sensitive ears. When you snort all of your Jade away, sometimes you can't afford the other things that you want to buy. Read between the Jade lines on that.
Nice.
Nose clamps.
Yeah. So there you go. Raw dog or raw force.
No, it's raw dog. You're right.
Well, before we get to our final synopsis and critique of Raw Force in 1982, as always, feel free to reach out to us at rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com. Do you have a movie you want us to review? Do you want to talk about Raw Force? Do you want to talk about what happened in Raw Force? You might need to write someone else, but if you have movie ideas,
You know what happened in Raw Force.
or trivia or suggestions for
Get
us,
this movie.
definitely reach out to us. You could also hit us up at our webpage proper, rabbittroopsucks.com. There are links to merchandise and our episodes and pictures and various fun things that we do. As always, you could reach out to us, but you could listen to us on any platform. I just go to the podcast app on my phone. We are on YouTube. We are on Amazon. We are on anything that you could consider there being a podcast. We're there. So just look for us and tell your friends about us. We're also on Instagram and Facebook for social media. Thanks again for writing us. People are writing us on YouTube. So thanks for writing us there too.
Yeah.
Enjoy all of our podcast episodes. What did everyone think about Raw Force, Raw Dog?
Make Jeremy start.
Jeremy, start. Colin told me. Defend.
Yes.
Yeah, so this
Test
movie is
your mic.
absolutely horrible, but it is a fucking ball to watch. There is so many things that take place in this movie that are ridiculous and hilarious, and I think that if you grab some friends and have some
Grabbing
alcohol.
friends is the hand motion that
Yeah.
Paul is doing. Right?
and have you double milk that fucker. Yeah, you're gonna have some fun with this movie. I honestly think you will. I think you should, like I said, if you're gonna watch something solo, not this movie, but if you're gonna watch something with a group of friends with some alcohol, maybe some drugs, who knows, then this is the movie. This is what you want to do, dude. Right
That's
here.
the true Raw
Yeah,
Force.
raw dog it.
You can't
Raw dog
this
the
movie.
raw
You
force.
gotta lube that up with some booze.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So yeah,
My
there you go.
mom's-
I like this movie for that reason and that reason alone.
I want to follow that up with just my short review of this movie. That you're right, absolutely right. It should only be watched with other people. Alone, you're going to have a bad time, unless you're really, really high or really, really drunk, and you're just going to lose track of whatever. Honestly, I didn't like this movie as much as you guys did. But I
Lamar
will say,
No one
this
said the word like.
Lamar likes this.
I tolerated it a little less than everybody else in this room, I'm thinking. But if this movie were maybe 60 minutes of just that boat party scene, I'd be okay with that. I don't know why I've liked that.
Pornography.
Lamar,
10 minutes of this movie was just nonsense of just people talking on a boat and partying. I enjoyed that. for
Lamar,
some
does this
reason.
make you miss Ghost Boat?
I,
Do you want to go back and listen to Ghost Boat?
I don't want to go back to Ghost Boat,
Ghost
but I'll go to this boat and party with these people for a while until
Goddamn
shit
right,
got.
yeah.
And then I'll get on the
These people
raft
were
and get the
fucking-
fuck out of
These
there.
people were throwing down. They're like, yeah, I'm here to fucking party, dude.
Whatever happened to the dwarven bartender?
He died somewhere else.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't
unfortunate.
even
I don't
matter,
believe
man.
that, Colin.
It made me want to go
He's
back.
still scraping up ice off the floor,
Yeah,
making
Colin, in
fucking
my-
Manhattans.
In my heart, I believe he made it up.
He didn't have that dinner tonight, baby cakes.
This movie makes you want to party on an early
Took a
80s
chest of
boat.
gems and got on a raft.
That's my review. Colin, I'm going to toss it over
Well,
to you.
before Colin starts, I mean, Lamar, clearly you're hoping they still make a sequel, right?
No, they can wrap that up. I'm happy with that little wink at the end.
They
that
said to be
John gave
continued,
to
and
them.
promises were made.
They promised and they didn't deliver, so they're all dead now.
Promises were made.
Colin, what are you thinking about Raw Force 1982?
I think I'm with Lamar on this one.
Like,
Like,
you love it?
fun to
Thank
watch.
you.
Yeah,
with
that you
other
love it.
people, but
Colin?
normally there's some redeeming quality in a movie. It has a cool soundtrack or there's a dog
Colin.
maybe. I don't know. There was nothing in this.
Collin loves this movie, everyone.
I mean, there was a bunch of tits. But, I mean, watching tits with a bunch of other people in a room is also not that fun.
Yeah, it's like being at Shotgun Willie's.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, this is just...
Like the boat party scene, though? Come on now.
The rating of this movie on IMDb is over 5, and I don't know how. That's
unbelievable. Amazing. That is fucking amazing.
IMDb also said this movie had moderate nudity.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
In 1982, this is
really...
Yeah. I mean,
Filipino nudity is different from American nudity.
That's true.
It's modern.
I brought up a question earlier. How did this movie get on Tubi?
That's the logo of KFC.
Yeah.
There's a large amount of titties in this movie. Well, for the first half, I want to say.
Then why are you complaining?
No, how's it on Tubi? Does Tubi allow this?
Yes,
you're
because
goddamn right they do.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter to Tubi.
Tubi literally said, hack the
To
planet.
be continued.
He said they're trashing our rights.
That's
hack the
fine.
planet. Collin, same question going back to Lamar. Like, you clearly are hoping they do make a sequel to this film, right?
I would if they totally switched. It's like, you remember in what was the movie with the Mach 5?
Speed Racer.
Remember how they had that whole thing in the background about how we had like this evil plan to manipulate the market? If they made a sequel to this that was all about
Jade trade,
Yeah,
I'm in.
Okay.
like they make it like an app, like the Jade Trade app.
Yeah.
Like you download it, man.
My great-grandfather, Captain Henry, had a basket of jade with his wife, Hazel. Jade trade.
If it's just more
Tits. Yeah.
I'm out.
But if it's tits and jade trade,
I'm in.
back in.
If they have more
back
tits,
in.
I'm in.
Wow.
I don't need a J trade.
So what you're saying is not enough tits in this
There
movie.
wasn't, and I noted that after maybe 40 minutes, they just stopped all of that.
Yeah.
No tits. And also the budget for the gunfire ran out around that budget too.
Sure.
Everything they filmed this movie as the money, you can see the money rolling out.
You see the money snorting into the wind.
Yes.
I think the one thing that really bugged me the most is that none of the audio matched up at all. They filmed this entire movie and then did the audio separate.
That's why Steve's extra amazing.
Nah. Well,
Bananas.
you gotta give
It
him
is
more.
crazy.
Gotta give him more.
Gazongas. I'll go next on this.
Yeah.
I like this movie more than Collin and Lamar. You definitely want to watch this with some friends. As noted that Jeremy said, probably have a couple of drinks, make this more of a party friend movie. Are there redeemable things? Yeah, totally. I mean, in that context, absolutely. This movie is bananas. There are weird zombies. The budget is absolutely...
It's trash.
Like unbelievable that there is one. If you like party nudity and you like action and you like implausible things happening and overdubbing, you're going to have a fun time. I understand totally what Collin and Lamar are saying. This is not a movie I'm like, let's go back to all the time. But to watch in this context, yeah, this movie's super fun. Is this movie good at all? Absolutely not. The story's insane. The acting's bad.
Yeah.
But as a movie, you want to trash and mystery science theater yourself through this with your friends, this is the way to go. But I think you'll have a good time overall if that is the context of you watching this. If you're watching this as a lover of film and the art of film, you have failed and you have gone down the long corridor and you need to back out. You need to get out of here. You're in the Twilight Zone. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Art of film.
Yeah, there was no art or barely film in this. If you were to have told me that, like, much like in the movie where the South Burbank Karate Club or whatever the fuck they are took this cruise for whatever reason, I would have believed you if the four main characters were bros in a karate club and they're like, what if we made a movie where there were hookers and Jade so we can go on a vacation? I would believe that that's how this movie got made. Yeah.
It was directed by Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, it was directed by Eddie Murphy.
we can say that.
And written by Eddie Murphy. And not the Eddie Murphy you're thinking of. Who, by the way, I have just watched the new Beverly Hills Cop movie on Netflix.
Paul's wearing the t-shirt.
We'll talk.
He hasn't seen it.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. It's fun. I enjoyed watching it. I'd seen it once before, although I didn't really remember.
No, that's a good thing, Mike.
That's
a good
the
thing.
Jade train.
Yeah, I did too much.
Definitely.
You didn't snort enough Jade.
Yeah, this is a good like have some drinks kind of party movie. I don't know. I don't hate it. I liked watching it. I'd watch it again in a few years if the
Oh, it's horrible.
if the
it's
vibe
a horrible
was right.
movie.
Yeah, there's nothing good about it. There's no like
But it's amazing in
measurably
its own
good
right.
thing. Yeah,
You know?
it is. Yeah,
It's
so
fantastic. You will like it and enjoy it.
Yeah, like somebody that lights a fart on fire where you actually see it like flame up. Like it's like that. Like a
That's
unit,
impressive.
you know?
I teach science.
That's impressive. That is good for us.
I don't know. It's in that
Rabbit
vein
Trip
that it's like, hey, I can light a fire with my fart, and you show up and you see it, and it's like, well, it delivered what it promised.
Yeah,
it wasn't
it
that
did
great.
That burned down a forest.
That's raw
accidentally.
force. It
Whoopsie
delivered it.
daisies.
But it's something to talk about later
Yeah.
on.
It
Later
deli-
on, once the booze kicks in.
Exactly.
And the
Booze
mess
Cruise. Rabbit Troop Sucks Booze Cruise 2025. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. Are we doing that? Are we going to do
Yeah,
a booze
I don't.
cruise?
What's, Paul said he's
Like
just
a
kidding.
river cruise?
We're not. Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, we're without a paddle style. It's
Yeah.
really just 5 guys in a paddle boat and getting drunk and fighting a bear.
Right.
There you go.
It's a couple kayaks strapped together in Chatfield. It'll be fine.
And
We
you only
just do Cherry Creek when I'm in town. At the end
Can
of the day.
I just swim outside
You know?
REI as people do.
Yeah, with all the pee and industrial waste.
You taste the pee, you swim in the pee. You are the pee. Become the
like
pee.
Kids love the pee.
is the bee.
Hey, speaking of kind of trashy films, we're coming at you again next week. Zombievers 2014. We're going to be looking at Zombievers. Those Zombievers are going to be looking at you, and they're going to chomp your way to your little heart.
Would you say this is back-to-back classics right now?
Oh, yeah.
Zombievers
yeah.
and Raw Force?
I would just
My
like to say
God.
I love the direction. we're
Raw
going.
Beaver?
This is like old school RTS, where we're just watching
Yeah.
dumb garbage and getting good. None of this like, oh, we're gonna watch good movies and have like a legitimate conversation about
That's
it.
true.
Hey, Mike,
This is what I signed up for.
they've been trying to make you angry with films. And
I know. Colin
That's
was
the
like,
whole-
"Yeah, Mike's not been pissed off for a while. We gotta watch some
When
bullshit again."
I fucking copied and pasted that fucking description of this movie, I was thinking about that. I was like, this is what RTS like originally started off with fucking American Rickshaw.
Dude, American Rickshaw, Ninja Busters.
Yeah.
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 I just assumed it was just the classic drunken ramblings of Jeremy.
No, that's true
Hey,
too.
anyway.
Yeah, we thought that was original content.
Yeah.
You were posting.
Yeah, we got a lot of fun movies coming up, and yeah, we'll even talk off air and plan some more going ahead. But yeah, we're looking at you, Zombievers 2014. Feel free to check it out ahead of time. That movie is also bonkers. Any final words on the movie we watched today? You know, Raw Force.
Want to have dinner tonight, baby cakes?
Does anyone remember the drink that he wanted to make for Hazel?
Oh,
No.
the like green.
The green one.
A lot of shattered ice.
Yeah, Lamar
and-
said he's gonna make ice from the floor.
Yeah,
and then,
flo-
then
it
I
was
blacked
like
out. I blacked out.
Chartreuse floor ice.
That's where all
and
the flavor
something.
comes from. You know?
Flavor country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it is, but this
Floor
movie,
ice.
The carpet is flavor country.
movie's all right. It's just goddamn.
Well, things I want to remind you, listeners, are as follows. First and foremost, if you're going on a booze cruise and you're going to go fight ancient, disgraced warriors, probably not a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Get a fucking designated boater.
Yes, I was going to say,
You know?
make sure someone's in charge. That's part 2. Like, have fun, but don't be, man in the boat. And part 3, just ask your significant other, even if it's at 4 a.m, how thick is your Jade?
Yeah.
As always, Rabbit Troop sucks.
Yo.
Yo.
Jade?
Jade?
Jade.